You were tuned in to another episode of the Goodfellas Podcast. Your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got my main man with me, one of the best in the business, Boxing First Vlog, aka Blunt, aka the General. What's going on, good brother?
Man, salute to you, soldier, man. I'm good, man. Just ready to dive into this topic, breaking news. So we got to put our 1-2 on it.
Breaking news. Um, Errol Spence Jr. has activated his rematch clause against Terrence Bud Crawford in the building. My guy L Dub, the Plizzug in the building. L Dub, what's up with you, player? I need for you to chime in on this too, bro. Like, it's an interesting thing. So for the people that don't know, Errol Spence did activate his rematch clause against Terrence Crawford. It was a two-way rematch clause for the loser of the first fight. And I got questions. I got a lot of questions, but I'm gonna get Vlog's take on it first, and then maybe I can just dive into my questions and have Vlog kind of just answer some of them. Just when you heard the news, bro, what was your first thoughts?
I think it's a money grab, personally. It's the biggest fight that he can go after right now. That wouldn't make any sense to go to 154 and dance around for $1 million or $2 million type of fight when you can get 15, 18 or whatever, they broke down. I don't know. That's not really my forte, but I know it's better than a standard 154 fight, introducing yourself into the division. Those belts in that division kind of still tied up. So it's not like he going right into the division trying to steal something from his campmates. So it's a money grab to me. Because right now, you couldn't have, after getting beat like that, conceived a game plan to not allow you to get beat like that, let alone to win. So the first game plan is not to get beat up. The second game plan is how we win. You didn't come up with that in this last month and a half or so, however long it's been since the fight. So to me, it's just got to be a money grab.
My initial thoughts, I didn't even have thoughts. I just went questions. I got questions. So I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone about my questions. So this should be pretty interesting. Number one, I was like, was this a solo decision? Was this a group decision? Was this a team decision? Did the family have anything to do with the decision? Like, where how do you think they came up to this determination? Because they waited to the last second
to see what his options was, maybe seeing where he was going to go, whether he was going to drop the belts, and then Spence could have fought, maybe Boots, probably. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but I think it was to see what he was going to do. And because of what's going on at 154, still being technically tied up, it's not like all the belts are gone and he don't have to worry about fighting a stablemate if he wanted to attack that division. So I think it's about the money. I think it boiled down to what your financial options are at this point in time. You know what I mean? What's the biggest fight, since these guys are only on big fight levels at this point in time, I guess. So, you know what I mean? Okay. So I think it, talking to family, they keep talking about, generational wealth. So he's big on that. He's did interviews with the local news down there talking about the land he purchased for his family and things like that. So I think it's definitely a financial hitch to it, where it's profitable for PBC. For he's still doing a good job being a fighter under that promotional banner, bringing the money, big fights for consistently for a good 3-4 years. Pay-per-view dude, they keep talking about Tank as a pay-per-view darling. I got to get a nod to Spence, because everything he did wasn't, like real risky type of fights until he got in there with Ugas. It looked a little bit like it might slip away from him a little bit, but the Garcia situation, things like that, he did what he's supposed to do when he got those pay-per-view stages. So he building up there. You can't take a step back. So you got to go after the biggest fight plausible.
Okay. Big shout out to my dog, man. My eyes, he may be the hardest working dude I know, just on this boxing realm, man. And just to see him go from the ground to where he's at now is is great to see, man. Big shout out to YSM Sports Media, man. That's my dog. He said rematch must occur a certain amount of days after activation. They probably wanted him to get enough time to recover as possible. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. Because the sooner you activate it, the sooner amount of time you have to actually make the fight and make it happen. So that's a solid point. That's a solid point. I actually had another question. Um, to my understanding, Bud Crawford can pick the weight of the rematch. Um, if that's true, if Bud picks 47, are we mad at him about that?
No, he's undisputed at 147. Why it wouldn't make sense to pick a different weight
I,
when you're undisputed? So just start stripping them. Why even be undisputed if you're not going to give it at least one defense? You know what I mean? Like that,
well,
it just kind of doesn't make any sense to get
well,
that accolade.
yeah, past precedent though. You know when he was at 140, he dropped them belts after 19 days. So if
But
he
that
did
to
it, yeah, I
me,
wouldn't be
no,
surprised.
to me at that time, I remember what you're talking about. It was a thing of weight. And that's the same
Right.
situation that Spence is in to me. He's pushing it for this weight. Can he, if it's going to be at 147, it's got to be now. It's got to be towards the end of the year, early next year, so I can get this out the way and move on.
So
If not, retire.
so let me throw this out there because I'm glad we're having this discussion. So if Bud says we're not fighting unless it's at 47 and Spence doesn't want to fight at 47, then what does Spence do at that point? What does he do?
He has to take it at 47 or just back out. Because in the contract clause, you agreed to all the stipulations.
Correct. Correct.
So if he picks one of the stipulations, you have to follow that because of the original agreement.
Agreed. Agreed. YSM said yes he can. That's what I thought, bro. That's what I thought. My guy Bruce Gas in the building, man. Salute fam. G5 and vlog, man. Big shout out to you, bro, man. Go subscribe to Bruce Gas, man. He's one of the best. He's one of the best doing it. Like straight up. Like his
Oh,
subscribers
old school
doesn't match.
representation, bro.
Yes, his subscribers
Like that.
does not match the quality of channel and content that he puts out, man. Big shout out to Bruce Gas, man, for sure. YSM said he said 147 is hard to make now. Yeah, and that's kind of YSM. That's kind of where I was going with it, man. Like it's just the reason I asked that, bro, is imagine how hard of a sell this is going to be. This is going to be a very hard sell, right? um Prior to the first fight, we really was like people really felt like this was a 50-50 or very close to a 50-50 fight. So how do you package this up, especially if it's at 47? How do you package this up and actually try to sell it to the people when what we seen was a blowout? Like it wasn't even close. I don't even think Spence had moments in the fight where you're like, okay, I can see
Build
him
on
being
it.
competitive,
Yeah,
right?
you can
Or
build
build
on it.
on it. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. It's like, how do you, it's a money grab, yes, because I'm pretty sure the guarantees is going to be crazy. But how do you sell it? Because I think, did they sell what was it, what, about 700,000? About
So
700,000? Something like
that's
that.
decent. That's decent.
That's solid numbers.
Yeah, solid.
Um, Why some said only sell is at 154. Buzz said he's struggling. Spence said he's struggling. 147 is only going to be worse. That's my point, bro. That's my point. Like, is Bud thinking like, hey, I might be struggling to make 47, but I'm not struggling as bad as Spence is. I'm gonna try to wear him down before the fight start. Or is Bud like, you know what? Let's go where we're gonna be comfortable and let's fight at 54. That's what I'm curious about. I was almost sure Spence was gonna take the rematch. I'm curious about where Bud wants it because I'm like, if he wants it at 54, I can respect that. 147, I can respect that too, but it's not gonna really shake well with the public, because basically it's known that everybody's struggling to make 147. So vlog, if you're Bud, right? and you're struggling to make 47, but you're the undisputed champ at 47, and you got a choice between being comfortable and fighting Spence with no belts on the line, or struggling yourself and making him struggle and all of the belts on the line. Like what are you doing if you're Crawford?
To me, the bigger money is going to be in the belts because there's extra payouts for world championships. There, you know what I mean? That's a different pay scale. So that alone is going to should factor in on what the earnings would be for this fight. Are they, if they not for the belts, then the earnings aren't going to look the same to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me throw this at you then. Do you think um it was already kind of a handshake agreement on 154 before he activated this clause?
It could have been because they both, type of dudes that know what the gym life is like, and they know what the struggle is like, and they kind of similar in wear and tear as far as ring time and things like that. They
I,
both kind of similar. No
yeah,
one's more dominant in ring years or whatever. Ring,
I
I
think
mean,
yeah, I think bro, I think they have enough respect for each other for Bud to say, yo, like if you take this fight, we fighting at 54. Like I'm not gonna, hold you hostage in terms of where the fight is gonna be held. And I'm pretty sure with Al being in the picture, I'm pretty sure he probably made sure the communication was tight in terms of that. You know what I mean? So do you, bro, just watching that first fight, bro, like what can Spence do differently? Like, is there anything he can do differently, bro?
ring size will matter to me.
Ring
Ring
size.
size, ring size. If he can get a smaller ring, force Bud not to have that in his back pocket that I could slide, I could slip. You know what I mean? I could do my boxing if he gets overly aggressive type of thing. Because that ring they were in, nice size ring. So if Bud wanted to box, he still had that opportunity to do that, which he did a little bit. He let Spence come forward and sucked him in a couple times. So to me, I think a smaller ring might help. I don't know that it will. I'm just spitball. I'm trying to find something to make
Right.
this competitive or more interesting. Not that it won't be competitive because Spence is a soldier, so I'm not knocking him. I ain't no Spence
Right.
fan. I ain't no Crawford fan. I'm not gonna knock either dude though in this particular situation. But
Right.
if I gotta look for something and that I can put a hiccup on, I'd say ring size. You know what I mean? Maybe to me, bigger gloves because you took some damage. So maybe if the gloves are a little bigger, you feel like you can hit harder naturally, then maybe try to enforce that and use your power in the second fight. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, bro.
Yeah, well the gloves, I mean, if it's at 54, then they gonna be fighting in tens. Now the 47
Was his
eight,
eights?
they're
Yeah.
eights. So that is a factor. Um Now as far as the ring size, I know you said you was spitballing. The most demoralizing thing about Spence's loss is that Bud was like right in front of him damn near the whole night. He was there, he was in front of him damn near the whole night. Um so the ring, I mean it's, bro, I don't have nothing, bro. Like I watched the fight like 3 times. I don't see anything that Spence can do
I could say
against
this.
Bud. Like I
That
just don't
jab
see it.
wasn't normal. It wasn't that Spitz jab we saw in the Garcia fight. It wasn't the jab we saw track down Mikey Garcia and pummel
I,
him into every corner of the ring that night. It was basically
you
the jab.
You know the thing that's crazy, and I'm glad, and he came in at a perfect time, man. My guy Mark Nash is in the building. He says, "G5 Jeff, what up?" Big shout out to you, bro. And Mark Nash can confirm this. Mark Nash, please drop a thumbs up or something in the comment section, bro. When I say this, I was on Mark Nash show, and I told Mark Nash the thing that Bud needs to do is try to neutralize Spence's jab by really throwing his own jab or even pawing with Spence's jab to make him do something else, make him initiate his offense with something other than the jab. And that's pretty much what happened. And it was just crazy to watch, man. Like it was crazy to watch. Mark Nash said, I told them over and over again for years, We talked about it, bro. We talked about it. Like and I even said it with Shane. I said, can Spence initiate his offense with something outside of the jab? I would say 95% of his offense is initiated with jab. But I'm like, if Bud can do something about that jab, how can Spence initiate his offense? And then the second thing is he's willing to trade body shots for headshots, and we seen that didn't go too well neither. I just like Spence has a an amazing plan A. He has an amazing plan A. We just never seen him in a position where he had to reach into his and
Um,
see if he had a plan B or a plan C.
I mean, yeah, you right, but we've seen a couple fights he's had to get, like I guess get back re-tuned into the fight. So that could be a danger too, because fighting is 85% mental, 58% physical. If he's so secure in his mind that I got this dude, you can start playing with your food and your food fuck around and bite back. You know what I'm talking about?
I
So
feel you. I feel you.
so
I
I
feel you.
that by that's it. I had look at all of the look at all the marketing and all of the media stuff he's done, bro. That a lot of that could be going to your head, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You get in
yeah.
there, you're a little bit
That's a
overconfident.
that's a good point. Because when you beat somebody, like
That way.
I feel like Bud, this fight, he's fighting against himself. Because
Thank you.
it's easy for you to just slack off in camp. It's easy for you not to go through the game plan process. It's easy for you to just be like, well, I'm just going to repeat what I did the last time. So it's easy for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you see it all the time in sports. You might blow a team out one night, and then the next night you getting blown out. You have to not shortchange yourself when it comes down to preparation and things like that. Mark Nash said, I can't wait for this rematch. He said Crawford versus Spence 2. Let's go. And I got Bud in 6 or 7 rounds in a rematch. I like Mark, if Spence comes in and does the exact same thing he did in the first fight, Spence may not make it to 6 rounds.
So
He
what
may
you
not
saying?
make it there.
So what you telling me? The best
It's
thing for him to do is stay range, keep him, try to turn it to the counterpuncher, because he set up himself by being the opening guy coming out with the jab, and his speed was a snatch off to me, and that could be due to the weight factor, because weight will affect your speed. Yeah, so cutting it and putting it putting on and cutting it off. So that being said, I would thank him to take those early rounds off, let the fight come to him, let Bud come to him. You know what I mean? Try to get into the second half somewhere in that 5th, 6th round, and then maybe try to open up, because you don't want to get blasted early. It'll make it not
yeah.
even have been worth it.
Yeah, if I'm Spence, let's say I'm gonna play Derek James, and what I'm getting ready to say, it still may not work, right? The one thing Spence was doing in the fight against Bud is it's easy to counter a guy when you know they're only gonna throw one shot. So
That's what I was
usually
going
you
to
don't
speak on too.
see, yeah, you don't see Spence throwing 2, 3 rapid jabs. He throws hard jabs. He throws hard jabs one at a time. You might get two. You might get two if he's stepping in with it. You might get 2 jabs from him. But if he throws one shot, one jab, or 2 jabs, he's open for something. He's open for a counter. He's open for a counter, and Bud was doing that all night long. Now, what I would say is what Spence needs to do is he can't just throw one jab and that's it, because he was telegraphing a lot of them jabs. He was telegraphing the shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's been doing this every single fight because I think he had a certain fear factor with his opponents before they even walked into the ring. And
Yeah.
I'm like, first thing for Spence, you got to throw in 2s and 3s. If you're going to throw a jab, you have to vary the speeds, and you got to throw in 2s and 3s. You have to
I
throw in
would,
2s
I
and
would,
3s. You
I
got to
would,
start
no, I
somewhere.
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because he don't have the speed. When you throw in the 2s and 3s, they need to be quick. You know what I mean? They need to be quick combinations so you can get back to defense because you're still dealing with a guy. Hold on, let me finish. You're dealing with a guy that punches in between shots. So you coming off your second shot trying to wind up a hook and you get clipped with a straight and you back in the same pool you was in. So my thing would be this, just to counter real quick, just work on a quick 1-2. That way that you can still be busy. You're still in the fight, but you're not opening up so much. You're not forcing the action to a fast KO because we know Bud got the power to put you out.
You led right into my next point, and I'm glad you countered that a little bit. What I was gonna finish that off with is the 2s and 3s. If you're gonna throw that third shot, make sure that third shot is in the middle area. Make sure it's around the chest so you can kind of control what's coming back at you. If you got a stiff jab coming towards your chest and you're ending your shot, you're ending your combination with that shot, you can kind of control the distance. So you can kind of get back on your square. So he doesn't have the speed to throw 3 rapid up top. If he goes 2 up top and one to the chest, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I think he needs to start there. And then the second thing, he has to win the inside battle when he gets in there. And he can't get greedy. He cannot get greedy. He can't just sit there and just think he's gonna throw 6-7 body shots against Bud and get away with it. He needs to go in. If he gets on the inside, if he can get 3 to 4 in, be content with the 3 and 4. Get back to your base. He got greedy. He got greedy a lot in that first fight too. But he's always been greedy. But he's
which one of them European dudes had that good? He had good moments with that inside work. Was it Postal or was it Mean Machine? One of them had, they had some good moments trying to get the Bud body.
Mean Machine had some good moments.
I think it was Mean Machine.
Mean Machine had some good moments.
Yeah, Postal the thinner one. So yeah, it was Mean Machine. But he's kind of built for that roughhouse inside. Spence is not, he's taller, so you wouldn't think of him as the rough inside fighter. You think of the shorter, Sean Porter stature type of fighters that get in there and get throw some elbows, some shoulder shots, and really old school slow this dude down with some old tactics. I think boxing is so finesseful right now that these boxers don't use the Bernard Hopkins type of tactics that will help you get yourself to a victory, help you stay in a fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like just subtle things.
Right.
Throw gut shot. Even if you got slip one low, slip it low. Watch your angle, watch the ref. You know what I mean? It has to be a different game plan. It cannot be line up the chess pieces and let's play. Man, you got to put some tape on one of his chess pieces. You got to put some scratches on the board. You gotta muddy the field up a little bit, bro, to give yourself an opportunity. Because if it's straight up and down, me against you, he blew you out, bro. He blew you out. So as a whole team, point. You have to be like, yo, you can do that, and you can do it. That's legally. You know what I mean? I ain't saying go in there and get DQ'd, but I'm saying go in there and let this dude know I'm not getting bullied this fight. It's a whole different, ball game. So it's got to be something different.
That's a great point. Mark Nash said, I want the rematch for selfish reasons. I love Clown and his delusional fans. I want to see what the new excuses will be. They got to come up with some new ones, bro. They definitely would have to come up with some new ones. Spence is cashing out. He don't care if he wins. I mean, it's not even for the titles. It's gonna be 154. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what Blunt was saying, man. He was like, you feel like it's a money grab. It's a money grab, and it's the most important fight he can get. You know what I mean? He said it's crazy to me the guys out there saying Bud cheated or is juicing. Same dudes are excited about a rematch.
Let me
if Bud cheated, why would you want a rematch? Go ahead, cook on that, bro.
Speak on that. Now, for a guy that's a career fighter, you're a career boxer, you've been undisputed, you double undisputed. Why would you need to be detoxing? If you're a clean fighter as he should be, and as I anticipate that he is, why would you need to detox, bro? Why? So he's messing with this doctor named Dr. Russell. He deals with herbals. He's in that same lane as Dr. Sabi. I'm hope everybody are familiar with these two doctors. Smart dude, but he had the dude able to make weight, whatever package they had him on. The doctor's son or nephew was part of the camp and the whole promotional running around at the time. So that doctor had him on a quote unquote detox program. Detoxing from what? I'm just asking.
And we're talking about Bud, correct?
Yes, Bud. Yes, Bud. And I told him when I was on the phone with you earlier, I was going to tell you, if y'all don't believe me, that this doctor had him on the detox. This dude, Zoe Williams, has a program comes on every Monday around 11 o'clock on YouTube. Since the fight, he's been pubbing this doctor because him and this doctor work together. He sells raise your shit up pills, but the doctor designed those pills too. But his exact words is, Bud was on Dr. Russell's greatest detox program, and it had him right. It was no questions. You've seen the results. He's been doing this to help pub Dr. Russell. No problem with that. I ain't got no. Hey, but what are you detoxing from, bro? That's all. When he kept saying detox, I ain't said nothing about herbals. He wasn't saying, yo, he had him on an herbal package. Boop, boop, boop. He kept throwing in detox. And I just want to know, what are you detoxing from?
Do you think the detoxing was just strictly for the weight though? Just a part of the weight loss program?
Then why he didn't say that?
I'm not sure. This is my first time hearing about it, so I'm a little fuzzy on this one. So
I'm fuzzy too. That's why I'm asking questions, bro. I'm talking about Zoe Williams. I'm talking about Zoe Williams, YouTuber, philosopher, relationship guru, solid dude, solid bro. I don't have no issue with Zoe. You're going off of his words when he keep pubbing. Bud looked it great. Bud was messing with Dr. Russell and the family, and whoop-de-whoop. He had him on the detox program. Detoxing from what, bro? I ain't never heard nobody detoxing fat. I heard of people cutting fat and cutting weight. I ain't never heard of detoxing weight. So is that a new weight loss terminology that they throwing out there, or did you just do that, Jeff, and help them out?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I know when you're just initially thinking detox, cleansing the body, things, of course, regular stuff like, you're cleansing the body, things like that. You usually don't hear detoxing in terms of getting down to your weight for a fight. So that's a word that rarely gets used in boxing. I'll definitely say that for sure.
But the dude that's using it isn't a boxing guy. So I'm saying you're using it and you're making it's not looking good when you're using it like that. And now a guy like me who is a boxing guy has questions.
So are you thinking the detox like let me get in the comments real quick. Mark Nash said, not enough time to win. He took too much punishment and way too many things to work on. It's going to be another one-sided ass whooping. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be ugly too.
Can I say this? If it's at 154, it may be a little different. If it's at 154, because you'll have a rehydration clause in there that may support Spence a little bit more. So if you're bigger, you can deal with them punches a lot better. If he missing 25 pounds in there that night, he wasn't, let's just say 20, 18, something like that. He wasn't accepting them shots the same way. Bigger guys probably deal with shots a lot better.
The thing that I'm kind of fearful of. I felt like there was a huge speed difference between the two. I think it's gonna be even worse at 54 though.
Is it that detox that he was on? I'm just asking. It was a speed difference.
But the thing, so if you think about it, bro, like with the detox, you're not really, you're really cleansing the body, really. But I see where you're going with it. Like It's kind of like, I know you're thinking like, oh, all right, I got a drug test on Tuesday. Let me clean my body out. Am I thinking, is that where you going?
That's what detoxing is,
Okay.
bro.
All right, understood.
No one.
Understood.
I can get detoxing because let's say you're been eating bad. Like, yo, I'm about to flip the vegan. Before I go straight vegan, I need to try to get rid of some of this old shit out of me, and then have my system where it's not juggling two different formats. So that's a different form of detoxing that I understand because I'm a rational, intelligent person. But originally, detoxing is drug shit, bro. And bro, you ain't never looked that sharp in none of your fights. You ain't looked that sharp against Porter.
Hold on.
That boy looked untouched, homie.
Mark Nash.
And then to put that damage, hold up. Then to put that damage on Spence, you see his face?
So are you? So
Porter didn't look like that.
So on the record, are you
just asking questions?
Are you kind of buying into it?
No, I'm just asking questions.
Buying into it.
No, I'm just asking questions that I wanted to ask when I first heard this dude say this shit a month ago. But nobody else in boxing was talking about it. So I can't be the guy to try to go viral, trying to sandbag on somebody. All I could do is just ask questions from all the information that's coming out.
Okay.
So I'm asking questions.
And
Zoe been saying this shit for a month and a half. I fuck with my boy every week because he a solid dude. He be driving hella game and shit. So I tap in with him. But he been Dr. Russell Herbals in this detox program and his nephew there and whoopty whoop. I'm like, damn, bro, did y'all put a specific package together for him for some specific reason?
Bruh, but this is the way you're talking is kind of how the Spence fans is talking. I know you're asking. I know you're asking questions, right?
Yeah.
But the actual Spence fan is actually saying basically what you're saying in a non-question form, basically.
But you got to have the information too. So did they even know he was on this supplemental program? Did they even know who that dude was?
What is the program? I don't even know. What is the program?
You know who Dr. Sabi is, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Dr. Russell is in that same field.
Right.
West Coast cat. So they linked up somehow for this particular fight and being part of that camp to get his supplements together. Okay, maybe he needed some vitamin A and B and this, that, and the third. I get that. But after the fight, the first thing I hear Zoe as pubbing Dr. Russell, not out, trying to say Bud cheated or something. He's using this information to pub Dr. Russell's work. Dr. Russell is so good at what he does with these herbs that he knocking shit out the body. Okay, what is he knocking out the body?
So if we're going to find answers to these questions, where are we going with the questions?
Bud isn't doing all the interviews, so whoever interviewing the motherfucker need to ask him, what was you detoxing, bro? Because you're not a type of dude. You're not an Adrian Broner type of guy. You ain't in the clubs, heavy drinking. You might backdoor a line or two. You know what I mean? You ain't that type of guy. You clean cut family dude. So if this was the biggest fight of your career and you wanted to get right, you had the opportunity because the fight had been put off so many times. So you could have been doing your thug thizzle, getting ready. Boom, right before, it's signing the deal. Who's the greatest guy on the market right now? Dr. Russell Herbals. Oh, man, I need that detox program. I'm just spitballing. I'm just saying, bro. Everybody that takes PEDs is not caught. Why? Because they usually are doing something to help clean themselves out.
Okay. And I'm taking all of this in because I'm like, this is my first time hearing about the whole juicing thing and all that anyway.
I didn't say nothing about that. I said detox.
I'm just saying.
You said juicing. I said detox.
Yeah,
I
but
asked
you said
if you're. I just said if you're
detox. You said detox from what? And it gotta be juices. If it's illegal, it's gotta be juices, right? Gotta be defined as juices, right?
Hold up. It could be pork juice. He could be a nigga that likes to drink bacon fat. I don't know. I don't know.
You
I'm
said it
just
could be
asking.
pork juice. You just spitballing.
Man,
I
country
feel you,
nigga.
bro.
Country nigga. You know how
Yeah, I can't with you, bro. uh, Mark Dash says you're reaching, bro. He says detox is not illegal.
I'm not reaching. Asking a question isn't reaching. If you don't ask, you won't know. So if you've
Would you?
never used it, hold up. If you never used this detox dude before, well, all of a sudden you need them now. I've heard
Well,
of nutritionists. I've heard of guys changing their nutritionists and they fitness people and things like that. But a guru, a voodoo, a priestess.
I thought
You
I was.
talk about I'm reaching. He reached. He reached and went and got Dr. Russell. I didn't
I
reach.
I thought. You know what? Mark Nash. That's a good question to pitch back your way. Because Mark Nash is a pretty knowledgeable dude. That's my
Oh
guy.
yeah.
I love Mark Nash, man. But so if you're Mark Nash pitching it back your way, bro. For Bud to take that particular step going into this particular fight, do you think because if you look at it, bro, it's kind of risky to try something new for the biggest fight of your career. It's risky. And this is me speaking, with the assumption that everything is A1 up and up. I wouldn't necessarily want, athletes are creature of habits. Like they stick to their routines, whether it's superstitious or whatever the case may be. Um, my question would really be, um, why why do it for the most important fight of your life only because it's outside of your normal routine? It's risky. It's risky to because you don't know how your body is going to respond. You would take MMA fighters, they stick to the script every single time. Like you take like an Anderson Silva, for example, and Blunt, you can speak on this. Anderson Silva, he loses 20 to 25 pounds in like a week and a half, and then he's putting all that weight back on. He's right back at it, but he's had the same weight cut regimen or whatever the case may be for God knows how long, but he know that it works. He knows if he does these things, he's gonna get to exactly where he needs to be. Um, so me personally, I don't think, and now I'm kind of asking questions in a sense of, I guess if I was interviewing Bud, I guess my thing really would have been, um, when did you make the decision to go to this doctor, this regiment, strictly because athletes usually don't like changing things up. They usually have a routine and they stick to their routine. That's the question I would ask. I mean, I think it's a legit question because usually athletes don't switch. They usually don't switch that up.
It wouldn't be
um
a legit question if it was coming from a fanboy. But me
right.
not being a fan of either fighter, everybody know who was the best fighter on the planet in my estimation. Uncrowned King, you know what I mean? Prince in waiting, you know what I mean? Is Jerron Boots Ennis. That being said, this is an actual legitimate question based on information that's out there. It's not based on me saying that, oh, somebody said. No, this is a legitimate person that is visual evidence that the other person is located with the camp, with the team. You know what I mean? This
Mhm.
is public information. It's not like I'm making something up and then trying to put it to the public. It's already out there in the public. The dude was running with the bull boy and this whole team through the whole camp, or at least half of the camp, from what I understand. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
bro.
Uh oh man, my bro Supreme in the building. Supreme, what up? What up? What up? Um, I'm gonna read these anyway. Mark Nash is probably thinking something different after you made your statement. He dropped this about 10 minutes ago. This is before your spiel, bro. Uh, he said, "Put down the trees, detox your mind." Mind you, this is prior to you making your statement saying you wasn't a fan of neither person. All right, I'm just
Oh,
reading them because
bro.
he put them there.
Yeah, you can put
Uh,
it there. Yeah.
Dude sounds like a Spence fan who's mad his guy lost. This is why I want the rematch. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not
You
a.
see what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why I said.
I'm letting
That's why.
Mark
Yeah, that's
and
why I
listen,
said
hold
what
on.
I.
And Mark, this is my guy vlog, man.
Man,
Go
I'm
on,
from the
that's
city,
Mark,
bro.
bro. Like,
I'm from the city, bro.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know what it is with me.
Supreme said, let's address the drug dealer in the room. We all know Snack and Victor has been and always has been pushing PEDs. That's a well known fact. What I gotta say about that is this: you see Snack all over the place. You see fighters with Snack shirts, crazy. Like even after he got found guilty and got booked and everything else, the majority of fighters in the sport is dealing with Snack in some way, shape, or form. So you gotta kind of ask yourself, like, did he like if anybody knows how to beat the test? He was beating it for quite a long time, but it's kind of like it's equivalent to this, Preem. You take a lot of people that work like let's just say like FBI narcotics, things like that. Like you can't get just anybody. Like let's say a detective. You can't just get just anybody to play those positions. It's kind of like Denzel in Training Day. You need a dude like Denzel to get stuff done. Like he's a hood dude that's actually probably did the crimes, but he just turned himself around. Is Victor Conti that guy? We don't know. The reason why we get on people that fail drug tests is because we believe the majority of the people in the sport do take some type of PEDs. My thing is, I'm like, you got caught. It's the ones that get caught they the ones that I'm like, we know it's not a clean sport from a political standpoint, from a physical standpoint. Like, it's not a clean sport. Like, we all know this. You understand what I'm saying? I get pissed off at the ones that get caught because I'm like, if you're gonna be slick, be good at it. Like my mother
It's
always
like
told me,
trying to
don't
rob a
don't do
bank and
don't
get
do
caught.
something that you're not good at. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
like trying to rob a bank and getting caught. What's the purpose of
Yeah,
going in there? You know what I'm saying?
facts,
Like,
facts, facts. Preem said Bud was on the finest juices, as my bro G5 Jeff TV would say.
I
I
told you, people.
Preem people apparently this is bigger than what I thought. Um, you know, Preem, let me ask you this, Preem. Let me ask you this, Preem. Um, because this is what I'm hearing. Was Spence off? Did Spence look off to you physically? And I'm talking like before the fight happened. Did Spence look off to you? Because that's what I keep hearing. They don't know what it was, but Spence looked off. Even Spence said it. Even Derek James said it. It was just like I don't know what it was, but he was just off. He was just off. Like that was the resounding statement that
Bro,
I heard was
the
he was
dude was
off.
cutting weight all the way up to the fight, bro. Literally up to the day
I
of the fight,
Well, Mark
cutting
Nash
weight,
can
bro.
confirm this. Spence got there before Bud did. He got to Vegas before Bud did. I'm like, if you can't make weight out in the summertime in Vegas, you got a problem.
But again, if it's taking you that long, it's also going, once you lose that weight, it's going to take you a certain amount of time to get a new balance and use whatever energy you developed from losing the excess, burnt fat.
Right.
So
Yep.
they caught the fight in between that drain time and getting,
Hey,
getting my
hey,
feet back under
vlog.
me.
You just quick question for you, bro. How did you think Spence looked at the weigh-in?
Not fresh. He didn't look like he was like gone mentally. He just looked drained, like a nigga that did a
Did he
16-hour shift. Like, I'm drained, bro, but I'm here. I'm still at work. You know what I mean?
now?
Like,
Yeah, I don't know if maybe it was because of the Vegas heat. Maybe he just had a
bro,
tan. He looked dark. He looked dark to me.
yeah, they did. He was out there running in that shit, trying to get
Yeah,
that weight down.
yeah. Um. said 41-0, 30 to KOs. Bud has been kicking butt for a long time. That's a fact, bro.
Yeah,
That's a
no
fact. He
doubt,
been whipping
no
ass
doubt.
for a long time, bro.
Cannot
He been
take none of that from him. I'm
can't take
just
none of that
asking
from him.
questions now that
I
you know I'm not a
yo,
fanboy.
Mark, you know the thing about Mark Nash, right? Is Mark Nash and myself was kind of just bouncing stuff back and forth in terms of where Bud was better than Spence at. And Mark Nash can confirm this. I said it on his show, and I say it on this show all the time. I was like, the reason I was picking Bud in the fight is because Spence is gonna need Bud's help to win
Yeah,
this fight. He's gonna need Bud to fight stupid.
cooperation. Yeah,
Exactly. He needs some
cooperation.
cooperation. Right. And Mark, a lot of how I think is because of this other dude that's on the camera. Like he from the city. He from Arizona. He in Arizona right now, but he from the city like I'm from. He from Philly like I'm from Philly. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you like it's kind of like when I break down fights now, it's really like this, bro. I'm like, who needs help winning? Like that's the first question I'm asking. Like, who needs assistance winning? And who can go in there and fight their regular fight and not change nothing really and win the fight? Those really the first two questions I'm asking, and it don't matter if it's on a bar level or the tippy top level. Those are the two questions that I'm asking, and I'm like, before this fight, I'm like, I think Bud can fight his regular fight and win this fight, and I'm like, I think Spence needs help. Sometimes we try to break shit down and to get all crazy and all that. Sometimes you just gotta ask simple questions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta ask simple questions. You know what I mean? Mark Nash said Bud did a pre-camp for this fight. He never did that before. Could it be possible that extra 4 weeks is why he looks so good? Let me get into that. So that pre-camp that you talking about, my guy Tree James, he was in that camp with Bud and them. He worked in every single camp. Um, with Bud, Steven Nelson, all those guys. Now, Bud always is in the gym prior to the actual camp, but because this fight was so big, Mark, they actually like dubbed it as like a pre-camp. But he's always had some type of like little mini camp like 2 to 3 weeks before the camp actually start. Like I can actually let you talk to the dude Tree and he can actually confirm that. But because the fight was so big, it was just like, oh well, Bud is doing a pre-camp. He might have started maybe a week earlier or something like that, but he usually does like it'd be like 2 weeks before the actual camp. They'll get in there, get work done and things like that before the actual camp start. But I'll rap to you about that, you know what I'm saying, like off camera. Preem said, why did Bud bring in Victor Conti in his last two fights? To be honest with you, he been rocking snack for a minute. He been rocking snack shirts for a little while. I don't know. He said, "Oh, board meat." That's funny. That's funny. He said, "Can I join right now, real quick, bro?" We probably getting ready to get off in a minute. We probably, Flo, you got to work Saturday.
Nah. I got 3 day this weekend.
Yeah, so we can so a preem. So I'm gonna hit you up on the gram like Saturday. We're gonna jump on. Let me know if you're not busy. If you're not busy, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. We'll chop up Saturday. Same topic though. Same topic. But we probably getting off in the next like 5-10 minutes. Mark Nash says, if it's harder for you to make weight, you might need to detox. You have a foggy brain or trouble concentrating, etc. Um I didn't really think of it that way. That's kind of a good point. I never thought of it. I
I
never thought
mean,
of it that way. But
I
go ahead,
get
bro.
it,
Rock
but
out. Rock
no,
out.
I've just like I understand what you said it earlier. Now he's saying it in his comment. I get that, but I've just never heard the two related. Detox, weight loss. Detox,
Yeah,
weight loss.
it's no, listen, that's a great point. You almost never hear the word detox in boxing, like in a it's always a weight cut, weight loss. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, is it because this person's not a that doctor's not really affiliated with the boxing realm? Like that's just his word that he usually uses because that's within what he usually does. He's not in the boxing realm. Like nobody uses detox in boxing conversations, basically. And we've seen some crazy weight cuts. We've seen some crazy weight cuts. Remember Bud on 2 days, HBO 2 days. You remember that?
Mm-mm. Which
Go
one?
back, go
No.
back, go back. For the people that's watching, if you want to see how far back Bud has been going through a process to like cut weight and make weight, go watch HBO 2 days when he fought. What was his last fight at? Was it at 35? It was what was his last fight at 35, bro? That was
Shit. I don't even remember him at 35. I remember the motherfucker at 40.
that
More
was
than I
his
remember
last
him
it
at
was his
35.
last fight at 35. It was on HBO and he fought,
Got me ready to
damn,
grab
what's
the
the
phone.
bald head dude name? Oh man, I hate when this happens. Um
Hold on, give me a
Ray
second. Give me a
Beltran,
second.
Beltran.
Oh,
Ray
that old
Beltran.
ass yeah, that was so
When
long
he
ago.
fought Ray Beltran, they had Bud on HBO 2 days, and he went through a whole process just to get the 135, but he looked kind of worn out. I would say that was probably one of the top five best like 2 days episodes in the HBO series in terms of boxers. Because it was literally like, and the reason I mention that is because they had a step-by-step process. It was like a science. You know what I'm saying? And the craziest, actually, Blunt, the craziest kind of one of the craziest weight stories for a guy to make weight was Nigel Benn versus Chris Eubank won. Did you watch that documentary, bro?
That's when they
I,
first was wearing them sweatsuits and shit and doing all of that.
yeah, they
Yeah, I
yo
remember a little bit of
he
that.
woke up like 7 in the morning, right? Mark, I don't know if you heard the story, but I'll send you the link if you want. Um Nigel Benn woke up the morning of the fight. So this was when they were doing same fight day
They weigh-ins.
weigh-ins. So the morning of the fight is 7 o'clock, and they go to weigh, and they said he was 7 over. So it was like, oh, 7 ounces, like that's cool. I can
Nothing.
get that off. He said no, 7 pounds. 7 pounds. So he grabbed a couple sweatsuits and started running around the stadium and all this and all that. So the weigh-in was at 12 p.m. If you want to see a zombie, like an old school zombie, and I'm talking, this is equivalent to Brandon Rios when he did his 2 days and he looked like a ghost.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's not good.
that shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. So that weight loss thing is like
It's
crazy.
crucial.
We seen guys. Damn, was that Truck Simpson that came in like 10 pounds overweight, 11 pounds overweight for a weigh-in?
I
It's been
thought
some
that.
crazy ass weight loss stories, like missing weight stories too.
Yeah, I know Jeff Lacey had a couple where
Man,
he used to push it to the limit, and it's like, bro, you too buff to be having to force, you know what I mean,
yeah,
that weight off your body like that this late in the game.
yeah. Mark Nash said he did a 4 pre-camp, be it Spence. Let's not act like Errol wasn't the boogeyman before 729. Absolutely, bro. And that's what made it. But see, that's what made the fight a 50-50. But usually the guys that's the boogeymen, you usually don't see them implementing multiple styles. They the boogeyman because their plan A usually is why they the boogeyman.
Hey, but you usually don't see them getting blasted out like that either, bro.
Yeah, you don't see him get
God
blasted out
bless.
neither.
Like,
Like
did he even
it's
land a punch? Did he even
that was
pinch
a
that nigga?
that was a classic ass whooping. Like that was
Bro,
a
that was
classic
Boots
joint.
S to me.
Yeah, that
he
was
looked like
ugly.
he looked
That
like
was
Boots
ugly,
out
bro.
there. Almost.
Yeah, yeah, bud, that was I mean, that was a classic performance. Uh Mark said boxers aren't normal athletes. They change trainers, sparring partners, coaches, strength and conditioning, and training locations all the time. Let me add on to that, and I'll meet you in the middle of the street on this one. Now, the trainers, yes, the sparring partners, yes, coaches, strength and conditioning, yes, training locations, all of that is true. A lot of the times you'll see boxers change trainers, but usually the trainer doesn't have anything to do with their process in terms of
The
making weight.
routine.
The
The routine.
routine, everything that you stated doesn't factor into the routine of them making weight outside of the strength and conditioning. And if they change the strength and conditioning, it's only from one high profile guy to another high profile guy. I'll give you a prime example, Mark. Boots doesn't work with his former strength and conditioning coach, Rob Acosta. Rob Acosta was his strength and conditioning coach, but he stopped being his strength and conditioning coach, I think, for the past maybe like 2 fights or so. But if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know that because they never reported it. Like Boots and even though he has a different strength and conditioning coach, they go through the exact same process in order to make weight. So you are correct. I'm kind of just adding on to what you're saying. Like it's that weight, that making weight thing is hard to get a fighter to shake off of their original, you like what their actual routine is. That's the one that's hard for a guy to shake, unless they just having trouble making weight. You know what I mean? Then it's like, yo, you gotta change it up because what you're doing not working. Um, he said, didn't Errol switch from Blu-ray? Did Spence make any changes for the first fight? Did he make any changes?
Yeah, he had a new nutritionist.
He had a nutritionist. He said
New
it's
a
all
new
entertainment. Of course, bro. All day, all day. That's what we do. He said guys are with snack and get beat up like Ivan Redcash or are called pillow fisted like Haney. Good point. Good point. Good point.
That's interesting.
Legit
I
point.
never thought about that.
Legit point. Legit
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I
Never thought
listen.
about
I listen. I don't know if Paulie ever. I don't know if Paulie was ever on snack. They sold him some bad. They sold him a bad batch.
Damn.
They sold
Damn.
him a bad batch if he was with snack.
Yeah,
Straight
that's
up.
it. That's
Mark
great.
Nash said Boots is with snack. Is he juicing? Nah, he's that dude is different. That
When
dude
you
is
this is
different.
well, let me say this. I think when you got an old school, an old head, the way the old heads is from
Yeah, Bozy.
like the
Yeah.
Haneys and Bozy Ennis and stuff. I think they want they kids out that mix. You know what I mean? They might have a combination or two with these entities and things like that, but I don't think they letting these entities use their kids like that. You know what I mean? Like.
Let me add on, bro. I think people, and I'm not speculating or I'm not trying to insinuate anything. This is really what I'm getting ready to say is really just to let you know how deep things go as far as when you're at that upper echelon level in terms of your body. Now, people don't talk about this enough, but when Floyd made weight for Manny and Manny made weight for Floyd, they went to Floyd house to do a drug test. He had doctors in the building. He had scientists in the building. He was getting an IV at the time. All this is facts. He was getting an IV at the time. He had a whole team full of like medical people, doctors, the whole nine after his weigh-in. My point is, some guys do go that extra level when it comes down to their body and things like that. Because it's Floyd, nobody really made a big deal out of it. He was like, he was getting saline put in and, this, that, and the third. And people was like, okay, cool. The part of the story that I found interesting is like how many medical experts he actually had at his crib right after the weigh-in. You understand what I'm saying? But if you notice, and this goes, Mark Nash, this goes back to your point from earlier, you never heard of Floyd having that many people at his crib and IVs and saline and all that. This was
Can
a
I tell you why
Pacquiao
he did
fight.
this? Can I
Mm-hmm.
tell you why he did? Because he was trying to be open, just trying to be. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to hide. Look,
Well,
let the professionals come in and see this. Just the saline. It's just,
well,
you know
this
what I
this
mean.
was his people. So this was so that was his people that were there. Vada
But
went
they're
to his
still,
house to get the test.
but no, but they're still medical professionals. These people take a
Correct.
Hippocratic oath So if whether they're on his staff and the doctor's still the doctor. He you know what I
No,
mean?
that's
That's not.
no.
You
I'm
see
with
what
you.
I'm
I'm with you
saying?
100%. I'm with you.
So I think
The
it could
point
have
I'm
been
making
viewed by
is
him doing. No, I get what your point you're making. I think this is what we're saying. We kind of both right and wrong, or meeting in the middle. Like it just depends on how you analyze that particular scenario. Did he do it to show? Yo, I'm all doors open. You know what I mean? Showing like Manny ain't doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because he
yeah.
was the one that was really enforcing all the drug testing shit and everything being up
It
front and open. Maybe not
and it
to the
kind of
public, but somewhat.
and it, yeah. And the thing about it, bro, is just the only time you ever heard that or seen that was with Floyd was for the biggest fight of his career. You never like, you know what I'm saying? Like you
That's
never
my
seen
point.
that in no
That's
other
my
fight.
point.
Yeah,
That's
so it kind of
why.
yeah, it
This
kind of
is
goes
why.
to
Hold
what
up.
yeah, it kind of goes to what
But,
we were talking about earlier.
but that's why you got
Uh
to look at what Crawford may have done and not done when the word detox is entered into the equation
I
of
feel
the
you. I
topic of
feel
the
you.
fight. You
And there's nothing
you got to
wrong
be
with
like,
asking
detox of
questions at the
what?
end of the day.
Yeah,
If there ain't no
this
problems, you shouldn't have no problem giving no answers. You know what I mean?
facts.
Yeah. Preem said yes, he was off, bro. He said, damn, Jeff, you want to behind on the chat. Bro, the chat get crazy, bro. Like the chat get crazy. Preem said, bet. Mark said, hit me up Saturday too. No, I got you, bro. He said, yes, a colon cleanse is a detox too. Agreed. Agreed. Because that crap that they give you when you got to get like a colonoscopy, my goodness.
Oh yeah, that shit's terrible.
Terrible. Terrible. Um Mari said, wow, send me that link. Never heard this story before. Yeah, nah, for sure. For sure. 7 pounds in less than 5 hours is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you the link to that, bro. Like it was insane. And you know the thing that's crazy, bro? I got an old video with Rob Acosta. And damn, you know what? I don't even know if I ever dropped it. It was the first time I met him. We was in Boots in them gym, and I did an interview with him, and I never dropped it. And I asked him, I told him about the Nigel Benn story, and I said, bro, is it possible for you to lose 7 pounds in a couple of hours, for a weigh-in? He said his exact quote was, yes, it's possible, but you're definitely not gonna like me after the weigh-in. And he said nothing else. So that kind of goes to show, like, I don't know. I don't think he ran a couple laps around the joint. And it was, I think that fight was in the wintertime too. So it wasn't for
The
him to
best
try to break a
conditions.
sweat. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, them conditions wasn't the same. Big X, um, big shout out to you. I think it's my first time seeing you. If you not subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribe to my man Vlog as well. Said, yeah, Crawford did juice snack owner, the biggest juice man of all time. We need to be honest about it, period. So Big X, I'm gonna add on to what you said, bro. Um, I'm like this. I'm not gonna target one person. If I'm gonna go after snack, I'm gonna
You
go
going
after
after
every
Dr.
single person.
Russell?
I'm going after everybody. I'm going after everybody. So
Now hold up.
if
I bring him up because, like I said, Zoe kept saying the detox program they had him on got him right for the fight. So was that meaning it got him right and that shit got up out his system and balanced out whatever snack slipped him under the carpet, left under his front door mat? You know what I'm saying? Came through with the 2:00 a.m. drop off.
what is that? What's the joint where they be delivering the snacks and shit? Go Puff.
Oh man,
They had the yams in a Go Puff bag.
man, hit him with the DoorDash. Like I
We getting
don't
our
know. I'm
finest
just
juices in the
asking
door bag.
questions.
That's
Yeah,
funny,
I'm
bro.
just asking questions because I've never heard detox when it comes to boxing. I've just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not in correlation with weight loss, not in correlation with a person trying to get off alcohol, marijuana, nothing. Because I've never really heard a fighter get blowing anyway. You know what I mean? Most dudes
yeah.
blow way
A,
after they like right after they fight, way before camp starts. So if they
a
do blow, it's not nothing that's affecting them.
yeah, a big X. So what we can do, because we're gonna jump on Saturday, and get a third show in this week, man. And it's kind of just been the Achilles heel, just life, but we're gonna get a third one in Saturday. Big X, come join us Saturday. Follow us on the gram. I'll let you know the time and all that. And what we can do, let's get a collection of names that do work with snack. So if we're gonna take that snack approach, let's just gather up all the names. We gonna gather them all up. And the thing is, and Mark Nash made this point earlier, is Devin Haney's on snack, but they'll tell you he's one of the lightest punches of all time. Am I correct, Vlog?
Yeah, but
Yeah. So
could
I
could could
bruh, if I see Paulie Malignaggi on a snack poster, bro, I'm snapping, bro. I'm snapping, bro. I'm
oh
snapping.
yeah,
My
bro.
guy, we all from. He said, "What up, guys?" He said, "Big shout out to my homie Matt." He said, "Are they saying Crawford juice?" They tried. That's where they going with it, bro. That's where they going with it. He said, "Is the Smith Eubanks fight worth betting? If so, who do you take?"
Oh man, I was gonna give you a matter of fact. We are from man. I'm gonna give you a breakdown in the morning, bro. So definitely tap in with me. It's gonna be a raid.
What's the
Very,
num?
very.
What's the numbers?
Oh, your boy coming in as an underdog. He probably about a plus 150 to 160 Eubank, and my boy Beefy favorite like minus 170 something like that.
It's Matt. I'll definitely say it's worth betting because it's
And yeah,
enough.
check me out on the gram too, bro.
Yeah,
We
I
all from. I
like.
doing all that. So those
I'm gonna
numbers
send, yeah, because
around tight.
Matt, I'll even send it to you. I'll just shoot you the link for it too when he drop it, just to make sure you have it. I'm not really sure, but I know the numbers are low enough to where if you like Beefy Smith, the numbers are low enough for you to take a nice dive at it. But if you like Eubank, then it's you can go that route too. He said he follow you, bro. Said thanks. Yeah, so we gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna double up. I'm gonna double up and I'll follow up with vlog on that one too. Maybe we can link up, maybe do a joint video
In the
before
morning,
the joint out, huh?
breakdown. Do a
Yeah,
breakdown in
do a
the
joint
morning.
joint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
kind of
Cause you
like that.
off,
Yeah,
ain't you?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah. He said
get your
Smith
sleep.
minus 150. To
Yeah,
be
that's what I
honest with you,
said. 150,
coming
170,
off, yeah,
something like
coming off
that. A
a
KO
knockout,
and
yeah, coming off a
early,
KO. If you
early
really like
KO.
Beefy Smith, that's a great number. That's
That's
a
not
great
bad.
number. If you think
That's
Beefy, if you thought the
a
first one
buck
wasn't a
50.
fluke, that's a
You
great number.
spending a buck 50 to make a buck. That's
That's a
12.
great.
That's like a hustler move.
Yeah,
Hustlers do moves like that.
if you think Beefy Smith beat Eubank the first time and it wasn't a fluke, that minus 150 is a great number. Now, the flip side, if you think it was a fluke, then the Eubank number is great because you like, I'm about to get extra juice on top of my bread.
Yeah,
So this
it's
is a
just
perfect fight for
it's a
whether
nice little
you
fight.
feel the question. Do you feel like the first fight was a fluke? If you felt like it was a fluke, you definitely going Eubank. If you felt like Beefy Smith is just a better fighter and he gonna do that shit again, you're gonna go with Smith. So it's an easy question to ask. The answer's a little difficult though. The answer is a little difficult. That's why the numbers are so tight. So
Yeah,
we definitely
yeah,
gonna get into that. A vlog gonna get first crack at it. But I gotta
yeah.
sleep on that. I'm gonna think about that when I sleep on that.
I got
But
you. We're gonna break it down in
Matt,
the
yeah,
morning.
we got you covered for
Tag
sure.
team.
Listen, Matt was with me when we hit the Charlo and Castano draw.
Damn.
I told him to put some beer money on that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't even had that, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was eight. That was
I
eight
remember
four.
that like it was yesterday. You and Shane did the show because I was at
Yeah,
work.
that was eight
I
four.
remember
I
that.
had that 8-4 all day. I'm still heartbroken off that one. Worst
Yeah, I
calls in
remember that,
boxing.
bro. Yeah, I remember that, bro. But we
Yeah,
gonna
but let's
listen.
get
We
up
gonna
out of
cap
here.
this thing off. Oh, he said that draw was epic, epic, bro. Like I hit Matt up probably. It might have been the day before, or the morning of. I said, bro. I said this might be the draw, bro. Put some beer money on that thing. Put some beer money on it, man. Like that joint came through like a champ, boy. That thing
Yeah,
came through like a champ. It ain't nothing like hitting them draw bets, man. Like they don't come often, but they, man, is
yeah.
they be golden, bro.
That's a nice
Um,
one, though. That was a great
that
call. Probably call of the
yeah, straight
century,
up,
homie. That was
straight
call of the
up,
century. I didn't see it. I
yeah,
didn't even
straight
call it
up,
during the
man.
fight. I had it 8-4. And I
You had an
wasn't
eight
even,
four, right,
yeah.
right, right. We gonna close this thing out, man. This was a good one, bro. This was a good one, man. Hour 10 minutes long. We definitely got probably about 5 or 6 sound bites on this joint for sure. So we gonna drop them. We gonna drop them tomorrow. I got a couple joints up now from yesterday's show. Actually, I got a couple more to drop off of that episode, and then we're gonna drop some off of this one. You can find it on my channel. You can find it on vlog channel, social media, and all that, man. Like we're just gonna try to I don't think we're in a position to do the 2-3 hour shows anymore like we used to. But we can carve out a good 45 to an hour, 15, hour 20, you know what I'm saying, a couple times a week. But we just so used to giving y'all marathons, man. Like it's just we
We
like
was
if we
cooking.
can't give you 3 hours, we ain't giving you nothing, and we gotta
But
kind
that
of
was
come
that
off that.
COVID, too, though. That was that
Yeah, yeah,
COVID.
gotta
So,
come off that,
yeah.
but it felt good to get 2 straight days in. You know what I'm saying? Matt, for sure, man. Get with you, bro, for sure. Um, but big shout out to VP Shane, man. He couldn't be in here tonight. He definitely I got a short a clip of him talking about who was that? Damn, what was the joint I dropped earlier today?
The Ugas.
Nah, he was talking about what was we talking about yesterday? We was talking about
Oh, Dubois and why he
the
quit.
Dubois joint. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
a clip that's going nuts right now on IG right now, man. People rocking with it. Um Big shout out to Ty Finney, man. He couldn't get in here tonight. We'll try to get on a little bit earlier so we can get him in. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend. He got an interview with Adrian Granados too. Definitely go check that out. I don't think he's doing enough pub on that, but that was a good interview. Good interview. Granados is dropping some jewels on that. If I can get the link, I'll definitely drop it on my IG. But y'all listen to one of the best guys in the business, man. Boxing First Vlog, man. Give me social media and all that good stuff, good brother.
Man, Boxing First Vlog on Instagram, Boxing First Vlog on YouTube, man. Hit me up, man. I'm in the game. I'm just spitting my 1-2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're gonna jump on again Saturday. We're gonna jump on again Saturday. We'll figure out the time. But once we do, follow us on Instagram. Follow everything's G5 Jeff TV for me. We'll figure out the time. We'll shoot some links out. Preem, I'm gonna make sure I send you out a link. Mark Nash, send you out a link, and Big X, I'm gonna shoot you one too. So we can kind of have a little pack house. We can kind of chop it up, talk some beefy Smith and Eubank, and get back into this Spence Crawford thing, and it's some other stuff we got to touch on too, man. A
Oh,
lot
for
of
sure.
upsets, man.
Oh,
Truck Simpson took a
crazy.
loss. Uh, Nico took a loss.
Yeah.
There was another guy on Top Rank that took a loss too a couple weeks ago. Who was the one of the young bucks that took a loss? Um,
On Top
Damn.
Rank? I don't
Yes.
think nobody took a loss on
No,
Top
and it
Rank.
was a bruh too. It was a bruh too. It was a
I,
bruh too. And
it
it's one of
wasn't.
the guys we like too. I just
It,
forgot his name, bro.
was
It's
it
a bruh. It's a bruh.
Tucker?
Young, huh?
It wasn't Tucker.
I don't. Was it Tucker?
Yeah,
He's
because
in
I
that
think he
crop,
fought.
bro. He's in that
Yeah,
crop.
I know. I just had. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up because
Yeah,
I
we're going
thought
to
I
look
saw
that one up. He's
everybody.
in that crop, and he ended up taking an L, and nobody's really talking about it. But it's about good 4 or 5 guys that then took L's, and even Paul Kroll had the draw. We ain't talk
Yeah,
about that neither.
that
That was
was.
a good fight though. That was a good
I
fight.
heard it,
See
but I
this,
only read that fight. I didn't see no
I
clips
bro,
of it.
I gotta. If I can find the fight, I'm gonna send it to you, bro. It was one of your type of fights too, bro. Like
Hard to
this and to
judge.
be honest with you, let's before we go, I just want to make this clear. What Vlog and I really be talking about is really the Paul Crowes and the, you know what I'm saying, the guys like that, the Truck Simpsons and fights like that. That's really what we be talking about off camera. Like
Oh
we
yeah,
give you the main stuff on camera just for the views, and we know that's what people want to hear.
yeah,
But we
mainstream.
really be on the phone, really be chopping it up about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you
This is what
about
we be talking about
the
straight up.
loss. To me, that I don't know. If worse, you could have gave that Truck Simpson fight a draw. He was fighting an OG Latin cat. It was like Vladimir or something. Thank you from South America somewhere. But all right, he was a solid dude. But bro, y'all go check that fight out. Y'all tell me if that was a loss for Trucker. And then the judges' scorecards on that one was Maney, homie, Maney.
Oh, Mark Nash said I did a video about Snack. The thumbnail says keep the same energy. We gonna check it out. We gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Matter of fact, I'll check it out tonight. I'm gonna check that joint out tonight, man.
Yeah,
But
let me
yo,
get
man,
ready to
this
slide
was
out
a
the side though.
yeah, this was a good one, man. Big shout out to Boxing First Vlog, man. Coming to rock with your boy, man. Fresh off of work, came right to the laptop. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with your boy. You know what I mean? But that's my brother. That's my big bro, man. You know what I'm saying? Been holding me down for a long time, man. It's bigger than
Day
boxing
one,
with us.
baby.
You know what I'm
Day
saying?
one.
Day one for sure. You know what I mean? So we gonna tap back in Saturday. If you fuck with me, you're gonna tap down, you're gonna tap with me way before that. He said, I break down the guys on the snack and the contradictory statements. We checking that. We checking for that, bro, for sure. But on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, your boy G5 Jeff TV, man, we're gonna see y'all Saturday, man. Appreciate y'all.
Go.